Hello students. So in this video, the continuation of 2D transformations only. So in the last video, we have seen the basic transformations like translation, rotation and scaling along with its matrix, right? So in this video, what we are going to see means the matrix representations as well as the homogeneous coordinates. Okay, what is homogeneous and how to represent it in a matrix form. And next one is the inverse transformations. And finally, the 2D composite transformations. Right. So these are the things we are going to discuss. So let us directly start with the homogeneous coordinate. What is homogeneous? Right. So the matrix representations will be normally it will be represented by using the homogeneous coordinate. So here the multiplicative and translation terms of two-dimensional transformations can be combined in a single matrix. If you see the rotation as well as the scaling, we are doing P dash is equal to P into R, and P dash of scaling is equal to P into the scaling factor Sx and Sy. But whereas in translation, what we are doing the addition, right? P dash equal to P plus T, correct? So here we are changing that on the that addition into the multiplicative terms. Here we are introducing the representation of 3 into 3 matrices. That extra row and column is considered as a homogeneous coordinate. Okay, so this third column is especially used for translation terms. Okay, so here after introducing this translation term, the result will be all the transformation equations can be expressed in matrix multiplication. There is no addition. Means previously it was P plus T, right? But after becoming the homogeneous coordinate, here it will be like multiplications only. Okay, so the homogeneous coordinates are normally called as X, Y and H. Okay, since it is homogeneous, we are noting this H and H, right? So this is used to carry out all the operations on the particular points and vectors homogeneously. Okay, so here H, what is called as H means it is a non-zero homogeneous parameter, right? So H is equal to always 1, it is a non-zero value. So X equal to SH divided by H and Y equal to YH divided by H, right? And we can also write this term as a Hx as well as Hy as well as H, right? So always we are assuming H equal to 1 because that is the convenient choice. Then only we can easily get X, Y and 1. So all the homogeneous part it will be 1 only, right? So and where this will be useful means in 3D viewing and transformations, right? Yeah. So directly now we can go for the two-dimensional translation matrix, how it is written in the homogeneous way, right? So here previously we have written X dash and Y dash only, but here along with 1, this 1 is nothing but the homogeneous coordinate, right? So which is the new coordinates are equivalent to always the homogeneous terms. Okay, here in the homogeneous terms only we have to represent our translation matrix Tx as well as Ty, right? So 1 0 Tx and 0 1 Ty and 0 0 1. This is considered as a translation matrix, and this will be multiplied with the x, y and 1. This is nothing but the normal original value, means original position of the object, right? So simply how we can write P dash is equal to T of translation matrix of Tx and Ty along multiplied with the P value. Okay, so previously it was addition, but now we are changing this into multiplication. This is the main use of the homogeneous coordinate, right? And the next one is 2D rotation matrix. See how to write the rotation matrix means by introducing the homogeneous coordinate 1. So x dash y dash 1 which is equivalent to the cos theta minus sin theta and sin theta cos theta. Here 0 0 of x and y term along with the homogeneous term is 1. Okay, and this will be multiplied with the x y 1 which is nothing but the original object coordinate, right? So the P dash is equivalent to R of theta into P. Okay, so this is about the rotation matrix. Next to the scaling matrix. So the scaling matrix also, by introducing the scaling homogeneous coordinate 1. Okay, so Sx and Sy and 1. Remaining all the values will be 0, because in the x we are multiplying the scaling factor Sx. For the y we are multiplying the scaling factor Sy, and this is the homogeneous coordinate, right? So the new P dash value is equivalent to S of Sx comma Sy into P. Okay, and next comes the inverse transformations. So by the name itself it implies, if you want to translate one object from one position to another position, right? Again you want to bring back to its original position. By the time you will be using this inverse transformation, right? So how to write the inverse means just by changing the sign of the particular matrix, right? So here the translation terms in the matrix will be a negative, means a minus tx and minus ty, so that easily we can inverse the translation, right? So the t bar means the t inverse, translation inverse is equal to 1 0 minus tx, 0 1 minus ty, and 0 0 1, right? And next one is inverse rotation. So R inverse, rotation inverse is equivalent to cos theta sin theta and minus sin theta and cos theta. Okay, so previously here it was minus sin theta, but now we are writing it here minus sin theta along with the homogeneous coordinate. This is inverse rotation. And next inverse scaling means actually we are shrinking the size, right? So how to shrink the size means 1 divided by Sx and 1 divided by Sy. Correct? So this is inverse transformations. And next one is composite transformation. Okay, so already we know the little meaning of composite. So composite is the binding of more number of operations together, right? So composite transformation means one or the another way we are going to add more number of transformations together, right? For example, see here how we are calculating, how we are writing the matrix means by calculating the product of individual transformations. So here P dash is equivalent to, here we are doing 2 times translation along with the P. Okay, so this can be written as, see, M2 M1 of P. M2 is nothing but the T2 matrix and M1 is nothing but T1 matrix. Okay, so along with the original object value. So otherwise we can write the composite as M into P. Okay, and this is the way to expand the matrix format. So finally T of T2 values and T of T1 values is equal to T of these two values. These two translation matrix values will be added together. Okay, only the values will be added. Correct? So this is called as composite transformation. If we go for rotation also, the successive rotations, okay, or consider as a composite rotation transformations. So here P dash is equivalent to, here they have given two different theta value, theta 1 and theta 2, right? So R of theta 2 and R of theta 1 is equivalent to R of these two values. If we are adding, then easily we can composite this, right? The same way for scaling also. Separately they have given the S2 scaling factor, S1 scaling factor. Finally, we are just multiplying the S1 and S2. Okay, then only we can enlarge the size, right? Yeah. So this is called as composite transformations. So in this composite transformations, here we are going to study about two different parts. Okay, so the very first one is 2D pivot point rotation. So what is happening here means, first of all, somewhere one object is there, right? Inside we are selecting one point, pivot point XR and YR. So this is the original position. So what is the first condition means, we have to bring back this XR YR pixel to the origin. Okay, so why we are in need of the origin means, then only we can do all the transformations in a easier way, right? So first thing is translation of the object, so that the pivot point is at the origin, right? Afterwards we are doing the rotation operation. So after performing the rotation, once again we are changing its this object into its original position, xr and yr, after the rotation. Okay, so how we can write the order of operation means, see, first xr and yr means translation, and the second one is rotation, cos theta minus sin theta cos theta with the homogeneous coordinate, and finally we are just putting the object into its original position, right? So that is called as inverse transformation, minus xr and minus yr, right? So if we multiply this with this and the resultant to this means we are getting cos theta minus sin theta of xr of 1 minus cos theta plus yr sin theta, right? So finally the order of operation will be T of xr yr and r with theta and T of inverse transformation, right? So which is equivalent to the rotation of xr yr with respect to this theta value, right? And another one is fixed point scaling. Okay, previously we have randomly pivot point we have seen, but now the 2D fixed point scaling. So here the transformation sequence, how we can write, by selecting one object's inside interior point called as x of y f. So here also the first step is we have to bring this object to its origin. Okay, so bringing back means we need translation, right? Afterwards we are applying the scaling factors. Okay, so here after applying the scaling, actually the size is reduced, the object size. Afterwards, once again we are moving this object to its original position. Okay, so this is the order of operation. So first thing is translation, next is scaling, then inverse translation. Okay, then after solving these three matrices, we will get T of S of T, which is equivalent to scaling of xy value with respect to Sx and Sy. Correct? Okay, so in the next video, let us see the other transformations. Okay, I hope you have understood about homogeneous coordinates, inverse transformation and composite transformation, right? Thank you.